Surprise Comics.
In this video, we're going to take a look at a collection of books about 4 long boxes that were just dropped off at my shop one day, and I got a message saying just let me know how much you can pay me for them. So in this video, we're going to take a look, and I want to know from you guys, how much would you pay for this collection? But before we hop into it, I want to remind you we have 2 10-cent Detective Comics as giveaways this month. One, if you subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video, you're entered to win this one. And if you head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter, you're entered to win another one. That's where I send out first notification of new inventory. Tons of awesome keys available now at brycecomics.com. Use code COLLECT10 for 10% off. There's a whole bunch of awesome new stuff coming in very soon. So let's hop in and take a look at these books. So here's the collection here, you guys. We got 4 long boxes and 2 short boxes. And what I'm going to do is just flip through here. I'll cut out the parts that are uninteresting, but I'm just going to go ahead and set aside all the keys. So that way, whether I buy the collection or not, at least I can have the keys set aside and the guy can walk away with his stuff actually organized and know what's valuable. It's not too much sweat off of my back to just go ahead and do this for them, whether I pick it up or not. I don't know if I would consider that a key. I think, you know, it's worth something. So we got a bunch of Venom stuff here, which, you know, it's worth something. I wouldn't consider it a key. I don't think I would consider that a key either. It's definitely worth something. Some Batman Predator. I would need to look that up, but I don't think it's too big. Some other 90s stuff. Some Topps X-Files. I don't think that's worth anything. Predator versus Magnus Robot Fighter. It doesn't have the original Predator series Conan books, but these are some 90s Conan books, which I don't think have a lot of value. Some 30-cent Conans, but some 75 centers. But I don't think those have too much value. So that's it for this box. I would say the one key is the first She-Venom, right? Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe stuff. I don't think those are necessarily keys or worth too much. How about that? One of the greatest keys of all time, right? Still polybagged. The world's most printed comic book in history. Bunch of old Superman, a bunch of DC stuff not bagged and board. That's interesting. Werewolf #1. I doubt it's a key. Some war stuff, Unknown Soldier, Marvel Age. None of these have backing boards. Masters of the Universe. That'd be worth something if it was in higher grade. It's incredibly low grade. Transformers #1, newsstand, super low grade. I'll set it aside anyways. Now here's a stack of what looks like Star Wars books. So stack of Star Wars books, no bags or boards. Return of the Jedi 2. These are all in really poor condition. So here's some Silver Surfer annuals in a pack, and the Punisher in a pack. Let's see if there's any goodies in here. Silver Surfer Annual #2 and Silver Surfer Annual #1. Be some awesome reading material for those ones. Daredevil Annual #1. Ooh, War Machine #1. Star Wars #2. That's a good one. Very low grade, but nonetheless it is a Star Wars #2. Alright, so let's look at this pack here with a king size annual. You got the nice duct tape there on the back. So unfortunately the annual is completely split and detached. No bag or board, no back cover. It's definitely some awesome reading material, but no value there. And some other books with no covers that look to be not worth much. Alright, so let's see if there's any goodies in here. The Punisher Annual #2. awesome cover, but I don't necessarily think that's a key, especially in this grade. Saga of the Swamp Thing, some Daredevil, Wolverine, Marvel Comics Presents #1, but it's in low grade. I don't think that's necessarily too much value there. So just a couple books in that one. Some 90s stuff. Ooh, nice Sabretooth. Like a foil cover, nice X-Men foil cover, X-Men Alpha foil covers. Those foil covers are cool, but I don't think they're keys. They're definitely worth something, but just not a lot. Wolverine #1 newsstand, super low grade, but I'll still set that one aside. Some cool Wolverine books, but nothing of too much value. I mean, they're definitely worth something, but not crazy values for these Wolverines. Da 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 da. That's a good one. Set that one aside. Excalibur. I don't think there's any keys in Excalibur. X Factor. Nothing much there. Let's see. It starts late, so it starts at X Factor 72. X Force starts at X Force 18. I don't think there's too much in X Force. Some Generation X, so just some 90s. Here we get into some Uncanny, starting at 228. So there's definitely some value. So these are all stuck together, and they all do seem to be newsstand editions, but they're all really low grade. There's a lot of spine ticks and whatnot on these, but you know, definitely some value in these. People just trying to complete a run. First Jubilee, that's a good one. I'll set that aside. That's, you know, not super high grade, but still some more Uncanny. There we go. First appearance of Gambit. And this one looks pretty nice, probably a VF copy. So 265 and 266. I'll definitely set that aside. Here's a good one, X-Men 268 and 267. Those are good ones. And then we get into the later Uncannies, which again definitely have value, but nothing crazy. Marvel Swimsuit Special. That's crazy. I don't know that I've ever seen that. All the superheroes of Marvel. X-Men God Loves, Man Kills. Christopher Claremont graphic novel. I've heard really good things about this graphic novel, so that's cool. Heroes for Hire. Too bad the whole run of this isn't in there. This is issue 12. I'd like to read that run. I never actually read it. That's a cool homage. I don't think I've ever seen that. Red Sonja She-Devil with the Sword #1. It must be homaging this book right here. That's so crazy. Nothing crazy in this run except for that Cosmic Carnage. There it is. Cosmic Carnage direct edition. Alright, so Amazing Spider-Man 338. I mean, definitely the Spider-Man books are definitely, you know, worth setting aside. Amazing Spider-Man, no major keys. Secret Wars #1 and #2 and #3. Low grade, but now we're King Size Annual Avengers #1. It's low grade, but still something. Low grade. First Colorless Vision. Some Avengers West Coast. That's a good one, but it's low grade. First appearance of the Timekeepers? Yeah, first Timekeepers, I believe. Captain America, nothing great. Black Knight, run numbers 1, 2, and 3 for the Black Knight. Set that aside. Unfortunately, no bags and boards. Vision and the Scarlet Witch miniseries. I'll set that aside. Low grade, no bags and boards. All right, so this is it, what we pulled out. The Vision Scarlet Witch run, the Black Knight run, some of these West Coast Avengers, minor keys, King Size Special, number 1, super low grade, the Secret Wars, 1, 2, and 3, some Amazing Spider-Man books, no major keys, but those are some nice books. And then we have these keys, Deadpool 1, 2, and 3 miniseries, the Rogue miniseries, nothing too much there. First Cosmic Carnage, this classic X-Men cover. I can't remember the key significance of this. I'll put it up on the screen. This is probably the biggest book of the batch, the first appearance of Gambit. I'll go ahead and bag and board that one. First Jubilee. Here's that first meeting of Deadpool and Wolverine, so I'll go ahead and bag and board that one for them, unless they're mine. Star Wars 2, 3, and 4. Transformers. First She-Venom. And then these mystery Star Wars keys. Some of them are definitely keys here. And I'm gonna have to look up some of the others. So before we go any further, I wanna know from you guys, leave a note down in the comments from what you've seen so far, how much would you offer for this collection? So I called the gentleman after this, and this is where it gets interesting. The gentleman that dropped him off at my shop was the brother of the owner of the comic books. And he said he doesn't know anything about comic books. His brother moved out of the country, he left the comic books at his house, and he just wanted to free up some space. He wasn't like selling them out from underneath his brother, otherwise he would have just sold them for me. He was in communication with his brother. He was just like, hey man, I gotta move these. I'm gonna take them to the local shop and see how much they will offer for it. So I asked him, how much does your brother need to get for these? And he said, well, my brother paid around $7,000 for these comics. And I said, no. I said, there's no way he paid $7,000 for this. There must be some kind of miscommunication, misunderstanding. There's just, in no world, at no point in time in history, would these have been anywhere near $7,000. I mean, there are mostly 90s books, which are like drastically overprinted, not rare. And not only that, they're in incredibly poor condition for what they are. I mean, they're like low to mid-grade 90s books with a few, minor keys sprinkled in there. So I said, listen, I don't think it's worth anywhere near that. I think the retail value for these, like if I were to sell them, I could probably sell them somewhere around $1,000, but it's 4 long boxes. Like the only place to do that would be Whatnot, and a lot of this stuff I can't even bring there. A lot of this would just have to be bulked out. So I think the retail value is somewhere around $1,000. So needless to say, I was not able to make an offer on these books that was anywhere near $7,000. And it was a very interesting experience. The whole thing was very interesting. At the end of the day, I never mind looking at comic books. I actually enjoyed doing this video. I enjoyed looking at these books. I enjoyed seeing the 90s foil. And at the end of the day, he has all of the keys, separated into the front of one of the boxes. I mean, they were definitely not organized by key significance to any extent. I mean, the biggest book in there was the first appearance of Gambit that had no backing board and was just stuck in with a bunch of other like 25-cent books. So at the very least, there's some keys in the front. These books were rode hard and put up wet. When I told him where the keys were, he was whipping them out of there and bending them back. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't handle the books like that. Like they're already in bad enough condition. And they just didn't really stand a chance. But at the end of the day, it's always an eye-opening experience. I had some fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like this video for your chance to win a free slab. And head over to brycecomics.com to sign up for the newsletter to be entered to win another free slab and get first stab at new inventory, new discount codes, mystery boxes, things like that. Appreciate you as always for sticking with me to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Surprise Comics.